the live Zoom. Today is Wednesday, pretty sure today's Wednesday. And in your announcement section, you will see your sketch for today. Make sure everybody can hear me. Yes. In your announcement section, you'll see your sketch for today, which is to draw your favorite Halloween candy. And there's a page, I gave you an example of a whole bunch of different ways to draw candy. These weren't specific, like obviously that chocolate bar didn't have, the logo on it of who you like, or like the Smarties thing up there. But so, draw just a couple of things of your favorite Halloween candy. That's your sketch assignment that you upload on Friday. And then for your assignment, we are going to do a little project. It's not due today. The other day I talked about when we were doing the shape and symbol project, I talked a little bit about Keith Haring. We're going to do a Keith Haring inspired project. I'm not going to click on this now, but right here at the top it says how to draw Haring images. That's a reference for you in this assignment. And in your own assignment block, you'll be able to read the slideshow a little bit better. I'm going to start it over somehow. In your, like I said, in your own assignment block, you'll be able to read that a little bit better. But these are some symbols that Keith Haring would use. In fact, let me get out of this slideshow. Thank you. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Hi, darling. Sorry, the bells are all weird and everything. Okay, let me not start with that particular slideshow. Let me come down. You should have another one, because I'm going to talk about Keith Haring first, which we did a little last week. This slideshow, yes, thank you. Okay, so here's a picture of Keith Haring. I would think that you have seen maybe some of his images before. He just used simplified line and shape and color to really become like a spokesperson for a lot of things. He was born in Pennsylvania. I'm not going to read all that, but he was born in Pennsylvania, and he's known for creating these great big paintings that bring spotlights to social issues, which is, exactly what art should do at, in certain areas. Here's some more pictures of him. This is him drawing, just drawing in the subway. Here's a picture of like a drawing he did on a door somewhere, and you can see it says South Africa in the middle of it, and then it's kind of he's got a couple of images going on, and so he was very political. He wanted to bring attention to things very visually and very simplistically. Here's a lot of just large drawings in the subway. He typically used either like a figure like these, or sometimes he would have animals, but they were always very simplified shape. He always used these little hashing marks around, just kind of showing some energy. He was very much, most of his artwork was about love and relationships. Love and relationships, period. Not, there's no need for, putting any type of color, any type of, race, any type of gender. He just was all about love and relationship, just in general. There needs to be no other thing, in what he was saying in his art. He created over 50 public works, all with this he's just painting line. You can get like a big marker and do this type of style with him. Most of them were large murals on walls, so you can see him at the bottom here is gigantic. Just very simple shape, color, repetition. You can see some scissors up there. He's really big into, when he was very, very famous, it was in the height of HIV and AIDS in the 80s. And so he was very much a proponent to increase awareness of what's really going on and not being silent about it and stuff. So a lot of times you would see these scissors, and he drew these little snakes for many different things. They could, you know, sometimes they were in reference to HIV, or sometimes they were, like in that South Africa picture, they were in reference to apartheid and different things that control situations. You know, and back in the 80s, obviously a long time ago, you know, computers were coming out, you know, which is totally different now because we've gone through, and you'll see in some other imagery, you know, he has these box computers, televisions are coming out, and society is just kind of getting engulfed in that. And now society's engulfed, you know, with social media and not even dealing with people in person. He loved to draw. He would draw on everything. When he made sculptures and when he was doing any type of art, he always would draw on it. He's got his shoes down here, just, you know, a piece of found object, cars, his own car when he got famous. He could afford to buy a BMW, and he still drew all over his car. Himself, he's in this, even himself, he's in this installation. Even back then, he ended up having a pop-up shop. And if you've ever, I'm sure y'all have seen these at different places, they'll have like let's just say Sephora would have a pop-up in Belks, or, you know, Sephora would come to a privately owned boutique and have a pop-up shop, just for an example. He had a pop-up shop, like legit, in New York City. He painted the inside, the outside. Here he is painting the ceiling. All with his imagery. Very, very, just very popular. Everything at that time had his images, his crawling baby or his little barking dog. Everything had his touch on it. He created a lot of artwork. He used a lot of action marks. These are all action marks. Most of it was dealing with love and relationships. You know, and everything you could read into this, you know, is this two parents and, you know, the child, you know, fighting against their parents? Same thing here. You know, you've got two adult looking figures. You've got another figure, it kind of looks like, you know, maybe he's trying to pull the parents back in. Teamwork, you know, everybody helping everybody, then everybody can, you know, stay up and stay together. He used a lot of symbolism. You know, maybe it takes one person, like maybe this is a teacher, you know, helping the younger people go from, you know, starting out not understanding a problem and then to understanding a problem. Like that whole kind of that whole like, let me, you know, lay down in a puddle so you don't have to walk over and get your brand new shoes dirty, that type of thing, or put my coat out. I love this. You know, he's got, you know, it starts with a human, then it's kind of like a human dolphin tail, then back to dolphin, and then back to human. So, you know, basically saying, you know, yes, we are human, but we have animals, we have things that we should take care of and not pollute, and just even way back then with environmental issues. This one's a very, very powerful image. He also just filled in the blank space, the negative space. You can tell that these have very small amounts around them. This one has no negative space. It's just constant mark making. And then this is more of like a student example. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to take the concept of a social issue, which we have plenty going on right now in our society, in our time right now. me get back to your project because I want to show you one other. How come this one's not there anymore? Okay, well, this also is there. I don't know why it's not popping up. You'll be able to see it bigger, but I'm just showing you basically some more examples of Keith Haring's work. At the bottom, you can see that there's this TV, kind of like back at that time, like TV was everything. It's kind of got like angel wings on it. Oh, and like I said, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the concept of a social issue. It can be anything. I've got lists all throughout everywhere. And you're going to, in a Keith Haring inspired way, illustrate this social issue. I love the cigarettes up there that, you know, are falling on this guy, and the cigarettes are like, you know, breaking or coming out, kind of like, you know, smoking can kill you, stifle you. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of social issues in this PowerPoint that's up there. It shows you how to draw his images. You start with a stick type figure, and then you just literally then draw around it and make it a little bit thicker. I have a lot of examples. This is, you know, a little elementary, but what is this kind of standing for in a Keith Haring way? World, like world peace. Yep, very good. More, a whole bunch more list of social issues. You know, we've got up at the top, these are student works. We've got the LGBTQ, you know, statements, identification you might want to be. I love this one. This one's more about obesity. And, you know, we watch on television, here's our little television or TV icons, you know, with all these commercials for McDonald's and donuts. And, you know, so this is kind of a cool imagery, very Keith Haring inspired. Here's one person, but, you know, like as time's going on, they're kind of getting bigger and bigger because they're being influenced. They're being influenced, whether they want to or not, by social media. Well, in our case, social media, but commercials. We have recycling, everybody, you know, being a part of that. Up here, you know, we've got the earth, and we've got, you know, all these hands linking together and bringing unity. We definitely need unity in our own country right now, let alone the rest of the world. And then also at the top, I also, in your module right here, you can click on this, and I've got more ways to show you how to draw his images. So how to draw his figures right here, his figures. And then there is some symbols that he commonly used: the radiating baby, the dog, a television. But, you know, you can change these symbols to things that, you know, you might want. And then some patterns and designs that he would use. So you're taking the concept of a social issue. I'm going to turn the light on and show you a few more examples, and then let you do your thing. This didn't do today. I definitely would like it to be in colored or painted. These were typically very bold. I know those of you at home might not be able to paint them, but I would like for them to be colored in some sort of way, hopefully. I love this one. This is a bit I'll hold it up for my anybody kind of tell what's going on here? Y'all are, of course, right, of course y'all are way too young to know what a martini glass looks like, but, you know, obviously context clues tell us that this is a martini glass. It could be a wine glass, and there's a figure just very simply inside of it, kind of symbolizing alcoholism, you know, drowning your life away. So I kind of like that. I mean, that's a very powerful, these don't need to be complex. You should be able to, you know, from the Keith Haring inspired imagery, you should kind of be able to tell, or at least make you look a little bit harder. I'm gonna hold this one up. You know, so we got two figures holding up a heart in the middle, and then we have this person over here that's kind of got like a shock stance, and then we've got this person, you know, that's holding a baby that doesn't have these little active marks around it, which typically he would have like his bouncing baby always had, or radiating baby always had these little signs around it. So what is this, you know, maybe an abortion type of struggle, you know, is he, you know, trying to spotlight some, or right, multiple, exactly. And then we always have, you know, there's always really good, just, you know, teamwork, you know, you know, helping each other, these type of things. I've wrote a whole bunch of social issues up on the board. They're all in all of these slideshows. I would find something you're passionate about, like I'm very passionate about animal rights. But there's so much up here, and this isn't even all of them. There's other lists. Even today, I was thinking about the bees. You know, we are starting to have a shortage of a bee population, and if that happens, you know, it'll affect, you know, our human lives. So there's very many different types of social issues you could illustrate in a Keith Haring way. And you can also look up Keith Haring social issues in Google and probably find some really cute ones too. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. Tiffany, hold on. I'm going to stop the live recording and I'm going to get right back into it. Okay. So get out and then get back in.